Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to our last Cloudia video, and today we're going to be looking at the new Descendant of Heroes Festival banner, Ascended Zaix, or Zaix. I think I'm going to go with Zaix. So, what's already very apparent and very strange and doesn't happen very often, because I pay attention to all these banners, of course, is usually they don't put more than the one character in one arc on the banner, and on this, there are multiple characters. Now, why would you want to pull for Zaix? I don't know. He's really old at this point. He's one of the not one of the first units in the game, but he's of that first generational units. You would never want to see him on your pulls unless he got reworked. I don't think he did. Very quick, I'm gonna look. Click. I don't think he got changed at all. He did get some damage caps and things. It looks like this looks like from like a long time ago, because this didn't really. This doesn't look at anything impressive, so it's already kind of risky. Before we even get into the banner, it's already kind of risky. Mia is decent. Phantom Crows is decent, but this arc here is pretty mediocre. I've never used it for anything. And the reward is just okay. So already, Phantom Crows is decent, but we'll look at the other arcs soon. Anyways, let's look at the main man himself, and let's see what he's got for us. So, first of all, he has quite a few things here, and as you'll notice from his Scar Rebel, he has an interesting ability where he's able to attack from the front and the rear, which is something only a few units can do, including himself. So it's already pretty nice. He has an instant gap close, and also just an AoE special. Alright, so he's got quite a bit of things here, and from the normal Zaix, it looks like this guy is very much an enhanced version of the normal Zaix, which is kind of how it should be. He's a dual-wield unit, but he's actually being compensated, unlike other dual-wield units. He actually has a dual-wield passive, as well as the Remnant World, so he gets some damage caps. He gets the ground shrink, which is an interesting effect. Seems like they are giving new units like specifically special abilities now. Like every single unit seems to have like something unique about them, which is interesting. Not just damage cap, damage cap, damage cap. Oh, there. Okay, that's it. They're actually getting something interesting here. He has a 20% defense debuff to enemies. Just one enemy though when he's attacking, and he also increases the hit count on his skills, which is actually really interesting. His special does not get included in that, unfortunately, so he's not really going to be a special damage dealer, even though he has special damage 40%. We are going to be relying on that skill 3 there, because that gets an additional 3 hits. And also, you'll probably want to be relying a lot on his skill 2, because he gets some passives. And you already might have noticed that he might be having some effects with the rear effect, because you would never really care too much about that, besides for one thing, one passive that you might be already aware of what it is. And when he gets attacked, he loses the buff, but after a while he gets it back. So I believe the reason why he has some evasion in his Void Whirl is that if you evade the attack, then you're not actually getting hit. But it only says it when attacked, so maybe it's like really weird wording. I'm assuming, and using logical reasoning, why he has evasion is because it helps him not get hit. And I'm assuming when it says lose buff when getting hit instead of just getting attacked, because if they was getting attacked, that's just them, the enemy hitting it, like trying to hit him, and that's considered attacked, right? So I'm assuming just when he's hit, so he can evade some attacks, and chance to make frontal physical attacks and rear attacks. We'll be getting into that shortly. He has guts. If you know what guts means, just he'll survive after a certain amount of HP. And when surviving lethal damage, instant move to a random position on the field, which is actually very interesting. That'll be very helpful in tower, for example, and things like that. So pretty interesting kit here so far. Let's look at his skills in here. All right, so let's look at his skills here. He has some pretty interesting ones. He is lacking a charisma, but there are so many charismas out there that I think that they're trying to make them more like nice. Like if a unit has charisma, it's nice, but I don't think it's necessary for him. Playtime's over will allow him to get more stock, and it's 250 MP. So you're gonna need someone who can get some MP back for him, like Goddess Kiss and things like that. He also has auto Grand Brave, which is very interesting. On my first glance, though, I didn't even notice that. Um, sorry. Auto Grand Brave, that's a very good one. He also has True God Hunter, which I've never seen before. Pretty interesting. He has all the usual ice attack stuff. And here is the stuff that I was talking about here with the backstab. So he's going to do a lot of damage. Actually, I think he might be, in general, in terms of skills, he might be doing more damage than most because of the backstab damage. Usually it's kind of annoying to do, and I think that meta has been long gone until now, of course. Back in the day, backstab meta was actually pretty interesting and useful because there wasn't a lot to go on. So it was pretty decent, but you do get the effects of the Mystic Surprise attack, which gives him some damage cap, and break. He has a breaker. And if you're, by the way, if you're a Final Fantasy Brave Exvius viewer, breaking in this game is not the same as in Brave Exvius. Breaking in this game, there's a break bar, and it helps him drain the break bar down. Similar to, I guess, in Brave Exvius, right? So all these things here, all these things allow him to break faster. And there's also something that like lets him. Is this it? No, there's something like. Where is it at? Is it this? No. He has like an effect here that allows him to do like even more. But I can't remember what it is. It's in here somewhere. It allows him to like. Okay, I can't find it, but he has an effect in here that allows him to like. Well, the boss. Oh yeah, I forgot. That's like never mind. That's an equipment that we'll be looking at shortly. Not sorry about that. He has draw less attention, and he does a little bit more damage and stuff like that. And here is the dual passive. He gets a little bit of damage cap and stuff like that. Pretty good. Oh, 3,500 at 100 hits. So of course, you're going to be playing up for that one passive that allows you, if you're not getting hit, your damage, your cap of hits will be increased. So you'll probably be able to do this pretty easily. And I don't think this is very useful to Solitary Knight because I guess like I don't understand when you would not want to use Charisma, especially in Tower. You want to be using Charismas to be more powerful. So I don't really understand this effect. It's just, I guess it's a unique effect, but it's not really that good, in my opinion. So overall, he's a very interesting unit. Mercury Veil, pretty interesting. Every 30 seconds it nullifies status elements. That's actually really interesting. This item thing, I guess it's okay. Getting an item. Giant Killing, pretty good. Innately Dual Wielding, pretty good. Shockwave, pretty good. Like, he has a lot of good things in here. Pretty good. I mean, of course, he has a lot of SC saving, free SC save 0 stuff, but obviously we'll need a lot more. So he is very interesting and very unique, and also I'll say niche, but he is also a very strong breaker because he can be all over the place. So he can keep up with bosses. So with that being said, what am I going to be giving him? I think I'm going to give him an 8.5 out of 10. I think he's actually pretty good. I would pull for him, but as you can see, I've only got 13k crystals, so be kind of risky to pull for him right now. I think I'll just wait. And on top of that, having not just him on the banner, there's multiple characters on the banner. And let's look at the arc here. And when I looked at it, I can already tell that this arc is not meant for Zaix at all because it has a bow as the reward. Chance for special deal critical damage. That's pretty good actually. But obviously this bow and this arc is not really meant for him. I think it's just a generic arc that anyone can use. However, the trait I'm not really feeling the trait. And there's 2 effects in here that have the same effect like this. If only unit is the only one in battle, like the stat gains in the special gods percentage is not worth it. Definitely not worth it. And then dragon type only, you get a special damage cap, and you get good enough. You get a mimicry for dragon in here at least, and it'll cost 2 SC. All right. So really, the only thing you care about is the two-handed bow. Bows really aren't used all that much, but this is pretty decent. You get a 5k damage cap, and you get some damage percentage, so it's pretty good. And this independence is not very useful either. You would never really want to, like, unless you're like farming, you would never really want to be just by yourself with no other units in your team. So this arc is kind of like not very good to me, in my opinion. I think the AAR is okay, but the attack on it is kind of weak. Only 150. The only thing you would ever care about in this is the two-handed bow. You can disagree in the comment section down below if you'd like, but that's just my opinion. Alright, so the review is over. If you're new to my reviews, that review is over. We will now be looking at his paid equipment, and this is not part of the review, and that will always happen for all of my reviews. I'm never going to include them because I don't think it's fair to include the paid equipment in the review. But I remember back in the day, I used to be the kind of guy who would look in the Discord or look on the Reddit and see, oh, is this weapon useful? Is this equipment useful? Is this paid equipment useful? So I always say, oh, if you can only get one or two of these, then you should get this or this one. So let's look at them first. Nightmare Blood, ice attack damage 20%, damage cap 2000, break 50%. Pretty standard. Pretty high attack on that though. Pretty high attack with no other stats. And the break 50% is pretty nice. I think that's the only good thing about it, really, because the first two effects are kind of low, but it's okay. He's dual wielding, so this definitely would be one of the weapons you probably would want to use just because of the break effect. Now let's look at this one. 81 attack. I looked at that. I was like 81 attack. Wow, and this is on an accessory too. So here's the effect that I thought he had on his passive. Sorry about that. Damage from boss is 10%. Fine. Rear attack damage cap 1,500, fine. Break recovery time 30% of the enemies put into break. So I think that's a very good effect. In my opinion, if you could only pick one of these, you're picking this because of that last effect there. I mean, it's only 30%, but that's a faster way of getting to the next break bar being depleted. I've never seen this effect. Maybe this effect has been in play before, but I just never really noticed because I never really used breakers on my team. Just the break recovery time, 30% of it. Like, that seems kind of broken to me. So you get like a head start. From what I'm reading, it looks like you're getting a head start. Correct me in the comment section down below if you'd like to, if that's wrong. But from my interpretation, it looks like you're getting a head start into the next break, which seems broken to me. So if you would pick one or the other, you pick this one. If that's not the case, if it's something completely different, then you can pick the weapon, I guess. But yeah, I would go with the mask. Especially since it's an accessory and not clothes. Because if it was clothes, it'd be worthless since he wants to be dual wielding. And they actually were smart and they made it an accessory. Because in the past, a long time ago in the past, they used to make weapons like exclusive equipment for the units, like really mediocre and weird. Like sometimes they would be a dual wielding unit, but they would give them clothes. It's like, why? Why would you do that? Anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Thank you guys very much for watching. Appreciate you. If you want to pull from good, you're gonna need a lot of luck on this because there's multiple units on the banner. So gonna need a lot of luck for that. But I wish you all the best luck in your pulls, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.